Hello lovely people. Cool is the new cool because we all want to look so cool, we all want to sound so cool, we all want to dress up so cool, and we actually want to live in this cool world in the coolest way possible. Don't you think cool is so much a part of our life? And because it is so much a part of our life, don't you think it is a cool idea to learn about super cool English phrases and expressions which we can use in our daily language so that they make us sound way too cool? Yes, I am sure you all will agree to this, that we all would love to be as cool as possible at almost or in almost any situation in our life. Well, which precisely is the reason why this video is primarily dedicated to all the cool people in the world who wish to become even cool. Well, you all are once again most welcome to your very own channel, that is Tutorials Point. Without any further ado, let us go ahead and see what are these super duper cool English phrases which we can use in our daily life. I'll say, well, what does it mean when you say I'll say? So, of course, I say certain things. I'm sure we all say certain things, but this phrase is more than just saying something. This phrase actually indicates when you strongly agree with any person, or if you strongly agree to a point. That is when, in order to express your strong agreement, that is when you use this phrase I'll say. So, wow, that's a big fish. I'll say. So when you say I'll say, you strongly agree to the point of view which is being put forward in front of you, right? So in order to express your strong agreement, you use I'll say. Fat chance. We could be fat, we could be thin, lean, whatever, but do you think any chance could be fat or thin? Well, yes, it would be. So fat chance means actually very little chance, which is actually on it means completely the opposite to what it is meant to mean actually, right? So fat chance means a very little chance of something happening. So actually it is a sort of a very informal expression, and because it is so very informal and sarcastic, definitely you might not want to use it in a very formal situation because it might end up offending anybody, right? So it is more in the form of a sarcasm, right, that you use this word. There's a fat chance, I think. So fat chance is like, it actually means there's very little chance, but when you hear it in the first go, it sounds as if it would sort of mean that there's a huge chance of something happening, but on the contrary, the fact is that it means there's very little chance of something happening. So as I told you, it is very sarcastic and should be used in an informal way. Okay, so whenever you wish to use it, just judge and decide so that you don't end up offending anybody. I rest my case. Well, yet another amazing, super cool-ish English phrase which you can use in your daily life. So when do you actually use it? So whenever you happen to make a point, right, and someone makes another point which completely supports yours, that is when your point is completely proven, and you don't need to push it further for people to believe that whatever you're saying is true. That is when you happen to rest your case, right? So next time, whenever you're putting forward something and somehow people you feel are not as convinced, and then all of a sudden an angel just comes up with another point which completely supports the fact that you were putting forward, or the proposition which you put forward, that is when you're going to rest your case, because whatever you say you were trying to claim has actually been proven by the support which you got from the other person. So that is when you rest your case and you don't need to push your point any further. Let's look at an example. You can't cook at all. right? For example, there are two people talking to each other, and one person claims that you can't cook at all, dude, that's not your cup of tea. And your friend who's standing right in front of you claims that yes, I can cook. I always make those instant noodle soup. Well, of course, that is almost equivalent to not cooking anything, and that almost indicates that because you really don't know how to cook, so you end up cooking those instant, that is not actually cooking per se. That is just like, you know, any Tom, Dick and Harry could do that. So that is when you will rest your case, because the person himself or herself has brought up another point which so very proves your point. So a very, very cool expression. Actually, only if you understand the true usage, it actually sounds very, very cool. I rest my case. I don't need to push it any further. What's the catch? Well, and there are times when something just seems way too good and way too luring, and which is why it is sort of hard to believe that is it even true, because this sounds way too super good. So is it even true? That is when you are slightly fishy. You're not as convinced about that point, and you just feel there's something definitely fishy which is making you not able to believe it somehow, and you just want to find out as to what is it that makes it way so alluring, because you're not convinced as much about it. So that is when you use this expression. So if you feel something sounds way too good to be true, that is when you use this phrase. So let's look at an example. I just found out about a great opportunity. I can work from home for only 5 hours a week and I'll earn at least 2 lakh a month. Well, don't you think it just sounds way too good to believe? So that is when you end up coming with an expression. What's the catch? Or what do you think is the truth? Do you think it is really worth believing? Or that is sort of anticipatory expression. What's the catch? What do you think would make it possible? So that is the context in which you will end up using this expression. Good call. What is a good call? Well, I could make anybody a call using my phone, but what is a good call? So good call actually is yet another very, very cool expression, which means or which indicates that you've taken a very good and a smart decision. That is when you call it a good call. So here's an example. Actually, you could use it with anybody, right? So to acknowledge that a person has made a good decision, that is when you use this expression. You've taken a good call and I'm sure it's going to work out great. So yet another very, very cool expression which you could use in your daily language. Well, I'm sure all these expressions are gonna make you sound super, super duper cool while you're using or while you're communicating in English. Well, I will see you again in the next video. Till that time, keep learning with tutorials, Point and Tutorics. Have a good day.